Hi, hello. It's third core review that I'm streaming, and it's actually short episode because I haven't found many examples for you today, because I was focused on fixing continuous integration issues that we have when contributing to Magento. And actually, I was quite busy with that from Friday. I spent 3 days trying to fix it, and it's still single issues to be fixed. And previous issue of core review was focused mostly on MFTF, but it's not done yet. So this time we will also touch few examples of it. But actually, the subjects, the mergers are different. So let me show you first example what we will actually cover, and it's related with using array merge with recursive functions. So let me show you the screen. And as you can see, we have some for each, but actually what's interesting is here. Okay, so the point is that instead of fixing the issue that appears to be here, the PHP CS, PHP code sniffer ignore was introduced, and that's actually that's actually something that we should avoid because it's easy to avoid. So I will not show you how to fix it, because I have counter example when core merge covered also the fixing that issue, and that's the example for that. So you can see that it creates array, but then it adds to that array next element, and at the end it makes array merge to all the arguments collected. So it's better and faster version of that kind of function, and it's really recommended for performance reasons and readability reasons to use that example. And that's all when it comes to array merge usage. Second thing I wanted to show you during this core review, during this core review is just or maybe give me minutes, because I forgot to turn off my Slack. Okay, so let's get back. Yeah. So the second thing I wanted to show you is related with MFTF actually, because I don't know why, but there is some kind of misunderstanding of order ID function of order ID in Magento, and let's find example order ID. Yeah, so we can see that some author of this test of functional test uses sales order view order ID and then grab order number. But how he got the order number? He got that from text on order link on success page. So actually he took order increment ID, not order entity ID. So what actually happens when you have custom format for order ID, order increment ID, or you have removed an order, the entity ID doesn't equal increment ID, and as a result this test will fail. That's definitely not something that you should do. There is a way to get the entity ID, and the easiest way is to log into admin panel and then take it from admin panel. But also we can grab it from order URL. This specific case is not the best way to get order ID. Especially when we could have taken the order link actually, and then use the order link here. I'm not sure why why the author uses increment ID here, but it shouldn't be this way. Okay. And actually I can show you example how it could be done. If your test uses I'm sorry, 1 second. Yeah, I cannot show you that. So I'm sorry. This time I cannot show you that because it's part of EE and B2B repositories that are not open for community. So yeah, I have to just explain you that it's better to grab entity ID. I will prepare example for MFTF stream about it. For now, you have to believe me that taking order ID as increment ID as entity ID is not the best way to grab order number. Okay, and actually I want to show you something more which is related to MFTF, and it's related with the fact that you can't assume that test will run one at a time. You have to assume that some tests will be run together and will be run parallel, and as a result, if one test touches other test data, the other test will fail. So we can see that there's actually action group that, let me find it. Okay, there's action group that removes, actually deletes all the search terms, and I think I know what was the goal of author of that test. He wanted to clean up after himself, but actually it's not the best way to do it, because if other tests that is running parallel will use search terms, and it will be working on it, haven't finished yet, you will break its this test that is running parallel. And best way to handle that is just to take a look what actually search terms we have created. So if we have any search terms, let's say, let me find the example, but yeah, if we know exactly what's identifying our test, we should remove only the search terms that comes from our test. Let me find, maybe I will the thing that we want to take a look into. Let me fill all search terms. Yeah, I'm not sure actually how to show you that right now, but the point is, like, in this specific example is admin delete all search terms, but the action groups that we have in Magento is also admin delete all products, yeah, all price rule, for example, and it removes all the price rules that were created during the test. So as a result, other tests that use this action groups will fail. Also, admin remove products, or maybe remove all products. No. Yeah, I see it. They did catalog. Its products. Yeah, I have it. Okay, so this is the example. Delete all products using product grid action group, which means that it will remove the products that were created by other tests, and you can see how many times it was used in Magento. So you should avoid such solutions to just isolate the test properly. Okay, and last one is good example actually. It's separation of responsibility, because I really like integration tests that extract the responsibility for some specific action and it names it properly. Like dispatch with data is not maybe the best way to call that method, but actually it's still better than putting that inside the actual test. Let's imagine that you have another 5 lines that performs an action and you don't really know what is the assertion, what is the assumption. So that's the great way to handle that. I would extract this part to separate method also, that assert successful removal or saving. Okay, so in this case, assert successful save, and that's the case. And very last thing I want to cover with you is just my curiosity about doing some changes in Magento, because recently in 2.9 or 2.8, somewhere around, there was a change of serializer implementation, and actually everywhere where the serializer was used, it was changed to be JSON serializer. But I feel like it's very irresponsible to rely on serializer and then assume that the serializer is JSON and then use the JSON config, because it can be anything. It can be binary serializer, it can be a PHP serializer, it can be JSON serializer. So if you are explicit about this is JSON serializer, just use JSON interface. And when it comes to serializer interface, you can see that the implementation of this interface, which is JSON, is also API, so it will not change, it will not disappear. So you can easily use this this JSON class as a serializer. You don't need to use serializer interface if you are sure that you need JSON. You don't need any other serializer. So that's the last example. And yeah, I'm just curious why everywhere it's replaced to serializer instead of just JSON that was before. And actually JSON, it was JSON before, yes, and it was implemented by serializer interface. So it in this place it also should be serializer JSON, and to be explicit about it is JSON. And yeah, that's all for now. That was short, and I'm quite happy. I will try to do it so short in the future. Glad to see you again, and I hope that we will improve Magento together with that core reviews. Links to the merges that were done to Magento Core will be shared on in comment. So see you soon.